Gemini Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you the next in my little Zodiac series. So this one is going to be Gemini. So if you are Gemini, I hope you guys like this. Otherwise, if you aren't and you are looking for your sign, if it was previously in the year, there will be a video for it and there'll be a link to it in the description box below. Otherwise, be patient, it will be there soon, I promise. I will have all of these done by the end of the year, so I hope you guys check back for all of those and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to start with, as with all of these Zodiac signs, I am doing a galaxy style background with blue, black, teal glitter, and white acrylic. It's just a little bit of white acrylic. It's mostly all those darker, deeper colors. And so you can start with any of them that you like. You can double dip your bead. That's something that I always like to do. I don't always, but you know, it's kind of fun to grab a multicolored bead. If you are going to do that, I would, one of the colors is black, I would dip that second. So if you are going to say get a blue-black bead, I would go blue, then black, because otherwise you're just going to end up with a black bead because the black will bleed into the blue when you dip it into that color. After you have those darker colors on, like I said, just add a touch of the white, kind of a smoky appearance going across the nail. And then I'm going to be encasing this nail with a layer of clear acrylic. If you were looking at your gradient and you did not or the galaxy background and you did not include a glitter, you could file it just with that, especially if you had something you're like, well, I don't really like the way that section turned out. But if you do add a glitter, just try to be happy with however it turns out, and know that there's no right and wrong when you're doing a background that's like that, because the glitter will not like to be filed. I do have a couple that you can file, but for the most part, you have to know your products, but for the most part, you can't really file a glitter. Otherwise, after you have your clear acrylic on there, go ahead and file this nail into shape. Make sure that it does have that nice apex in the center, so don't overfile it. That's something that every once in a while I will do. And then take a much finer bit, a really nice fine bit. I love those. Something that a lot of people don't have on hand because they like the coarse bits that remove a bunch of acrylic at once. I like to make sure I always have a really fine bit close by because it makes the texture of the nail so nice to paint on. And since this design is there's nothing 3D here, it's all hand painted, having that really smooth velvety texture to paint on is just so nice to work with. So then with white paint, the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be painting the twins symbol. So this one is actually probably one of the more difficult ones in the Zodiac sign series because of the symmetry. Most of them, there's so many artful ways of painting the symbols that you can really have some freedom with it, and if it doesn't turn out exactly like the picture you picked out, it's not the end of the world. But with this one, even though that is still the case, you do want it to try to stay symmetrical from side to side, so from twin to twin, and you do want them to actually be twins and to match. So that is where it gets a little bit trickier. So my recommendation is to do a section at a time. Like as you can see, I didn't do the hair yet, so I just started out with the profile of the face and then the shoulder, and I'm going to do one side and then the other. And if you do have a situation where you're like, well, that just did not go as I had planned, you can file off your paint and try it again. So I would, with this one, with most of them, you could start in any portion of the design. So I have the constellation and I have the symbols, but with this one, I would definitely start here, because if you are going to need to file it to fix it, you would be filing off extra work if you had other sections of the design done already. And to file it off, it won't take much. You can even just take a hand file and just kind of almost wipe it off, basically, is what it would take. It wouldn't take a lot. So I just wanted to mention that. If you do have an incident with this one, you can just take and remove it. Otherwise, then after I have the two profiles done, then I'm going to be adding the sections of hair. And as you can see, I'm going back and forth from side to side. Don't paint one twin in entirety and then go and try to match it, because that's going to just be more difficult, because you're doing something as a whole, not as a piece. And it's much easier to match something if you're just looking at a small section than if you're looking at a whole design. And it'd just be easier. So that's just my little token of information there for that. But try to go slow and not rush yourself with this one, especially. And with your paint, don't overload your brush, because that's not going to help you either. So always go back and dip your brush again if you need to, instead of trying to dip it once for a whole area. So after you have your twins, and for me, painting a profile is always more difficult than some things. I've never liked painting profiles. It's always been something that I've almost done under duress. So this one was a little bit, I don't want to say scary, because that's not the right kind of vibe I want to attribute to this, but this one definitely had a little bit bit more of a challenge in it for me personally. I don't know what it is. For a long time, I didn't ever paint any people either. I never would include any sort of a human element in any of my designs if I could avoid it at all costs. So then with blue paint, I would either go with one of the colors that's in the background, whether it's blue or teal or black, but stick with one of the colors in your background, add their eyes and their eyebrows. So then, like I said, we're going to be painting the constellation above them. So start with the little dots for the stars and then go ahead and connect them. So as you're doing the little dots for the stars, this is one thing, again, little bit of information that I have said in the past zodiac signs, but if you didn't watch those, make sure that you keep your constellation small, because it's really easy to be adding these dots and all of a sudden run out of space on the nail. So just kind of be conscious of that and how much space you have when you're painting them, because it's really easy to go a little bit on the big side. So then you're going to be painting the zodiac symbol on the tip of the nail. Start out with two pretty straight lines, and then kind of connect them. Kind of reminds me of a pie symbol to start with. After that, apply a layer of gel sealer and cure it. All of these nails, I think, are just, they're so symbolic. I just love it. So I hope you guys like these as much as I do. Like I said, there will be links to all of them in the series in the description box below as they're uploaded if it hasn't been already. So check there if you're looking for a different one. And please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!